I like observing and studying the different lines, everybody runs. First and second place, they're teammates, but they are running two totally different lines in the turns.
Well, and there might be some thought process to that. Let's take a wider shot here and try to get a better idea of who's running where. If you're the trailing car in this two-car pack, so to speak, you don't have any air on the nose of the truck. It's going to be aero tight. So you see TJ Lane there on the bottom, the 69 truck. He's taking that alternate lane to the bottom. It's not that it's the bad lane. It's not that it's where the 96 should be running or shouldn't be running. It's just he's trying to keep air on the nose of his truck so he doesn't push up the racetrack. You can see he can kind of get to the bottom. It's a short way around. He's to the door of the 96 off of turn 4. But you see William George does pull back ahead there with the extra momentum that the outside lane is going to carry.
George is just getting that run out of the turns that allows him to kind of keep that lead.
That really is it, too. Will George gets well of a run out of the corners because he's keeping that truck up on the high side. It's the long way around, but you can run it a little bit quicker. You see TJ Lane does get to the bottom mid-corner. He's almost going to have to pull the slide job to get around him. Again, don't forget, these guys are teammates as they come into tonight's race here at Homestead.
It looks like Cody Harger may be running second place down a little bit as they go back and forth.
You're going to see that, too. If these trucks get side by side and Cody can stay lined up with Mike LaJoie, they can almost draft up a little bit. I know we're not talking super speedway here, but these trucks punch such a big hole into the air. Cody's pulling some draft off these two trucks in front of him, and Mike LaJoie was sitting right beside or right inside the rear of that truck of the 66. He can sniff a little draft as well. The top two have lined back out single file, though. TJ Lane has abandoned that battle for that position. He's going to sit there and ride here for a little while, maybe cool the tires, rather than burn them up trying to take the top spot so early on in the race.
Here he goes. He's going for it here.
DJ drives it way deep to the bottom. He's going to slide up in front of the 96, take over the top spot. New leader, TJ Lane, off turn number 2. Got Gina Teagarden, I hope I'm saying that right. Joe Ellen Nation cheering on TJ as well. Thanks for checking in the stream chat, guys. And gals. TJ Lane definitely had the pace. He picks it up here, takes the top spot. Now his advantage is about 0.3 of a second back to teammate Will George. See if he starts to pull away or if he just maintains that gap. Already 17 laps into this event. Good battling up at the front of the field between teammates Elaine and George, but Cody Harger is there close, but the caution is out. Looks like Neil Quick, Will Hewitt, maybe Thomas McMullen. See any issues there? Will Hewitt's already in the pits. Must have been a big one for him. Well, let's take a look at it, see what we can see here. First caution of the afternoon. Will Hewitt gets into the fence. We get it a little late. We'll rewind it here. So Will Hewitt, the 33, the black machine up top. Just a gentle scrape of the safer barrier. And the right rears of these trucks stick out a little bit further than the right front. That is by design, but Will out of the throttle. See Jamie Kerr there on the bottom, the 75 truck. Will seems to get away with this one here. We're going to go full speed, see what else happens. So that brings out a caution. I don't know why the other ones didn't, but for some reason, Will Hewitt just decides to park it 17 laps in. Let's see what happened with maybe Thomas McMullen. Is he part of this? Oh, just up ahead, Alan DeFries in the fence again. Up top, the white truck, he comes down, clips Thomas. A lot of net code there. Big wreck for Thomas McMullen.
I'd say that's where the caution came out there.
Yeah, I would have to agree. The Will Hewitt incident, him parking there on the backstretch so low off the racing surface, I can't imagine that would have brought the caution. This certainly did. So there you have it.
Looks like we had 2 more cars get involved right at the end, or 2 more trucks.
Well, nonetheless, pit stops underway here at the Speedway. Just about wrapped up, really. Other drivers, James Vance just finishing his pit work. Left sides go in the air. The 11 Toyota Tundra, the Grid Engineering. Looks like Fast MD Racing on that machine. James Vance currently runs in the 16th position, but just about everybody took the opportunity to hit pit road here. Tires and fuel, or maybe just fuel. Most of the drivers appeared to only take fuel. All the way back to the 13th position, Brian Torsha. They took fuel only. Everyone else taking some time here to get some tires. See if this can switch things up. Again, only 2 sets over the wall, so they've got to find a way to make this set last quite a while and save a set for the end of the race. Cody Harger, though, quick time. He gets on and off pretty quick. Takes over the top spot here, lap 20. We're going to step aside here and take a short break, and we'll be back with the restart after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Homestead-Miami Speedway, the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series, race number 4. Clicking off in a hurry here, 21 laps in. We're just wrapping up our first caution. Incident with Alan DeFries and Thomas McMullen. But everybody has taken the opportunity to get tires or fuel, maybe even both. Most of the leaders, though, top 13, fuel only, as the pace car getting ready to pull off the racetrack and get this race back underway. Pace car's off.
Ready, green flag.
Cody Harger gets to the throttle. Off and running, clean air for the 66 as he works into turn number 1.
He wasted no time getting on it there.
No, you can't. You see the pace that the TJ George machines have. TJ Lane, William George, awfully quick back there, working well together. I'm going to see that happen throughout this race. They're going to have to work as teammates, and it seems that they were. If they do that, play the right strategies, they're going to be major contenders here for this win. Is the 69 already taking a look down low? TJ Lane with some speed on the bottom. Off turn number 4 might have this, but Cody's going to battle back with some momentum off of 4. Crosses the stripe. He's going to have the lead here, but will it be the same the next time by? TJ drops to the bottom once again, looking for the top spot.
He's going to try to clear him. I think he's going to do it.
He's got him clear, but a bump coming from the 66 pushes the 69 down the backstretch just to say, hey, nice slide job, but you're going to get a push.
Ooh, looked like he may have tapped the wall a little there.
Drew Blaze, he's starting to get into this mix as well. He runs fourth, but you saw him down at the bottom of the racetrack with some pace. Looks like Cody Harger had a good run off of turn 2. He's going to take a look to the inside into 3, take that top spot back. TJ Lane definitely quick on fresh tires, or at least since that pit stop. Again, they didn't take tires. Just the only truck up there with 4 tires is Mike LaJoie. He runs 9th. TJ Lane continues to lead. Cody Harger second. William George making a move, looking to the bottom on the 66, trying to take over that spot once again. He's to the door. Drew Blaze, though, he's going to take advantage of this battle as well. He's going to come into the mix, maybe try and follow the 96 through. 96 does not make it through yet, though. Cody Harger maintains the second spot.
Nice X is trying his best, but Cody just gets that run off the turn and kind of takes away all the progress that he makes. Ooh, the leader's in the wall.
Thomas
But the
Agolin
stick-
says no race audio. Looks like it's going out on my end. Well, that is interesting. We've got no broadcast audio as far as the on-track events go. I'm surprised no one mentioned it sooner. It's showing up in the encoder as it's going out. We're going to work on that, try and get it up and running here.
Yeah, I put it on my phone, and I can hear you great, Steve.
Yeah, at least the commentary audio is there, but nothing from sound effect wise. Thomas, YouTube is not live and won't be. We haven't gone live in YouTube for a few weeks. Races will be uploaded post-race for that end of things. I think we might have got it fixed, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds like we've got some race audio back. Yes, we do. Simple setting, got clicked the wrong direction. My sincere apologies to all of those watching, as we've had a big change at the front of the field. Mike LaJoie has taken over the top spot. Drew Blaze second, Rob Hattenback third, and Zach Millett already up 23 spots in the 4th position. Mike LaJoie still out in front of this field. Drew Blaze second, Hattenback third, Millett fourth. William George has slipped from the top spot to 5th. Truxell up to 6th. James Vance, the road racer, he's in the 7th position, as well as Andrew Locke. Let's take a look at these two, see how they're working together to get through this field. I don't know if they took tires. It appears they may have, also with some damage repairs as well, between Vance, the 11, and Andrew Locke, the 25. Vance making a look to the inside of Mark Truxell as they work into turn number 3. Andrew Locke's going to follow him on through. It looks like the 11 is just kind of the lead blocker here. The 25 is going to try and follow him to the front. Impressive run so far for both of these road racing drivers as they continue to work through the field. Vance looking for the top 5 spot. He does have it. Just now, next one to get by is Zach Millett. So Vance and Andrew Locke, 5th and 6th. Both team trucks, 11 in the 25. And Thomas, to elaborate a little further on the YouTube side of things, we were having quite a bit of stream-related issues. We weren't sure if it was the encoder, if it was YouTube, if it was Facebook, so we're just trying to take certain pieces of the puzzle away one at a time and see if it improved a little bit. Ultimately, I think we had a bad modem. Service provider came out and replaced that, and so far we've been pretty decent. If that continues the rest of the week, we'll be back to dual streaming next week, YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Meanwhile, James Vance is working on Zach Miller. They must have got tires.
I know you get the technical stuff figured out, Steve.
Well, long and short of it, I didn't really figure out much of it. I knew there was a problem, but that's really where it ended. Called Spectrum out here to try and figure things out. I've had a tech here 3 times, a different tech each time. First guy came out, did a couple of things, fixed some noise issues with the cabling. Okay, that helped a little bit, but it still didn't help the long-term success of the stream as far as, you know, making it from A to B without problems. Then the next tech came out, he did some things as well. We ended up changing the modem, and we did some pretty significant testing on Sunday. I ran 3 full-length Homestead races back to back to back in a test stream. I didn't drop a single frame the entire time. Again, knocking on wood. But then it was Memorial Day yesterday, 8 o'clock in the morning. My doorbell starts ringing, and who is it? It's a Spectrum technician saying, "I'm here to look at your cable." I'm like, "Well, that's funny. I didn't know you were coming." So I sent him packing. I think we got it fixed, but yeah, Time Warner / Spectrum. I guess they're not the most effective communicators, but I'm not going to complain too much because they got me back up and running here. I think we're going to be okay.
8 o'clock on a weekend or on a holiday weekend.
Well, Sunday it was between 8 and 9 a.m. They said that they would be there, and you know, at first I'm like, oh man, it's a holiday weekend, it's a Sunday, but then I'm like, well, I'm going to be up anyway. You know, it's Motorsports Christmas with Monaco in the morning and then the Indy 500 and then the Coke 600 at night. So I was like, well, I got to get up anyway. The race starts at 9. So yeah, why don't you come on over and let's get this going. But of course he comes over, changes the modem out, and then doesn't activate it. And then nobody can get a hold of the guy. So he never took it out of his inventory. So then I've got no internet whatsoever. I'm trying to stream the race from my phone. It was just, it was a rough Sunday morning, but again, knock on wood. I don't want to bash them too bad because so far, so good. 39 laps in here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Mike LaJoie still leads. James Vance, though, up to 2nd already. Again, those 4 fresh tires certainly working out for the 11. If he can make this run all the way to the finish, he's going to have a good opportunity here to clock in another solid finish. He was 3rd at COTA last week. The only drawback here is if we do get a caution in that final 23-lap segment, he's not going to have a set of tires to bolt on because he's likely going to have to take them here when we get the stage break at lap 60, about 21 laps from now. But these guys that did not take tires in that first stop, yeah, they're sacrificing a decent finish here for the stage. But now they've got 2 sets of tires still over the wall to play with the last 20 laps.
I mean, call me crazy, but I always liked having those tires at the end just in case. But I understand if you don't get a caution, why take them home?
So Gina Teagarten in the stream, she says, it's my first race watching and it's freezing up on me. So what I'll recommend that you do, Gina, is try and see if you can change the broadcast quality on your Facebook player, so to speak. There's a tab somewhere up there that you can click. Depends whether you're online or your phone or your computer or what have you. But on my end, I'm solid as a rock right now, not dropping a single frame. Full bit rate, the whole 9 yards. I know it might be a different language that I'm speaking right now to most of you, but it's all pointing to a good signal. So it just might be the internet, or if you're pulling it out of the air, it could be for you. So try and reduce your visual quality. That may help things on your end. Mike LaJoy with a healthy lead still over James Vance, 4.45 seconds back to the 11. Andrew Locke now up into the 3rd position. James qualified pretty decent here this afternoon, but Andrew Locke started 24th. He's up to 3rd. Kyle Wayne Short, I'm good too. Thank you. That worked. Awesome. Glad to hear it, Gina. Glad we could help.
Yeah, I think it's doing fantastic.
Fingers are still crossed. Again, this is the first broadcast where I've maxed out the quality again, and I'm just hoping that everything runs smooth to the finish, because this has been a headache for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for me too, you know, for you all at home. Steve just shares his screen with me, and it's easier for me and him to look at the same camera views and look at the same thing. The last, 2 or 3 weeks, we've had different camera views. Actually, I've had to go in the race and look at it, so this is 10 times easier.
Yeah, so just to elaborate on that a little further, I know you guys probably don't necessarily care about the behind-the-scenes part of things, but midway through the race here, let's just talk about it real quick. As Eric said, I kind of share my screen, but I share the screen that is the broadcast side. So basically what you guys are seeing on Facebook and YouTube, the output signal I'm sending to him directly, so he sees it in real time with me, so we can kind of be in unison and call the race. The problem I was having is every time I sent him that signal, because it is a brand new stream that I'm sending him, I would lose the broadcast signal. So I couldn't run it. So he's got to watch it. Yes, it's still live on his end, but he doesn't know what I'm looking at. He doesn't know what I'm calling, so it's kind of a guess. The other advantage to it, though, is he would see things that I wouldn't. So if I'm calling something and there's a wreck I don't see, it kind of worked out. But again, I think the both of us would much rather prefer him being able to watch my live feed.
Absolutely.
Because if he tries to watch it off of Facebook, it's 10 seconds later than what you're watching. And Mike Fahey peels off the track. He's in the pit lane. Let's go to Mike Fahey, the 19 truck, as well as Drew Blaze. They both hit pit lane here, lap 46. Not sure if this is really a required stop or they're trying to work some strategy here. Mike Fahey comes to a stop in his pit box, pretty clean. Right sides go in the air. Likely 4 tires and fuel for the F-150 as it sits in the box. Drew Blaze, 4 tires and fuel as well. Driver of the number 1 Dent Zones machine, again, out of the Lone Star Racing League. So the thing that's fun about this Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series is it's kind of drawn drivers from multiple leagues into it. They all have their own separate race leagues that they participate in on a weekly basis, but they've all kind of migrated over here to SCAR and running together with all these drivers. It's really, really boosted the numbers in the series here, and it's nice to see some fresh faces from all over the place. Again, I recognize a lot of these guys because I broadcast for them, but it's really done well here. In SCAR, we got trouble. Drew Blaze in the fence. Drew Blaze hits the wall hard off of turn 4. No caution. Not sure what triggered that. If he just got loose, I can't even click it. So unfortunately, I'm just going to make the decision executively and rewind this. I know I hate doing that, but I'm going to have to. So here is Drew Blaze into turn 3, gets to the bottom here. Fresh tires, mind you. Again, cold Goodyear Racing Eagles. Gets a draft off the 66, likely a little bit of aero push. Gets to the throttle hard, and you're going to see this truck slip just a bit. You see it right now. It's getting a little tail happy. He's got some right wheel in it to correct. A little overcorrect. Tank slaps it, and he's going to catch the outside wall. Puts that machine into the fence. Not what Drew Blaze needed, especially right after taking tires. Now he's going to drive around to the end of the stage here with all that damage.
that's unfortunate there for him.
Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Mike LaJoie still handily with the lead. James Vance runs second, 3.6 seconds in the rears. Rob Hattenbach, Tom Ridgway, Andrew Locke, the top five. Zach Millett has slipped to sixth, but still a big mover on the day. Millett runs 21 positions above where he started today. Again, it was the tail end of the field. It may have been actually at the rear of the field. He may have been credited with a better position than where he actually rolled off at the green flag from, because he did. His race win penalty was he could not qualify. He got an EOL at the start, which means an end of line penalty. As you see, the leader, Mike LaJoie, hits the pit lane. And the 25, Andrew Locke, slides into the box. A great save to keep that truck going forward.
What a save.
Was a really good save. It's going to cost him some time, but sure beats being backwards under green flag. He's going to stop in the pit box. Nice and clean. Right sides, maybe? No, fuel only for the 25 because they did take tires initially. So green flag stops underway here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Andrew Locke is down and away. James Vance inherits the top spot. As Andrew Locke leaves the pit lane, teammate James Vance in the 11 takes the lead. James is going to have to hit the pit road here pretty soon as well. And here he comes, James Vance into pit entry. Looks like James is coming a little too early as far as the entry to the pit lane. If it were IndyCar, that would be the way you'd want to come into pit lane. But I think here at Homestead-Miami Speedway, at least in the NASCAR side of things, you can run that truck hard off of four, dive down into the pit lane.
And that'll definitely cost him a lot of time for those who've done it the way you're talking about.
We'll have to see where he cycles back out, and if he takes tires here. I can't imagine he's gonna. Oh, and he misses the box, slides through just a bit. That's gonna cost him about a second, which is a ton of track position during green flag conditions. 53 laps in. Again, we're about 8 laps shy of the stage. Pit stops underway just to make it to the end of the stage. Vance is down and away. Other drivers down the pit road as well. Zach Millett, Jesse Bobo in the 7 in the background. The 315 is Zach Millett. Again, he's really going to have to struggle to get back up here. Wants to get a solid finish for the stage. It's going to be very difficult for him to work his way back towards the front because he's going to get that EOL at the beginning of the final stage. So he's only going to have about 20 laps to make it back up. Through that cycle, though, Mike LaJoie still the leader. Cody Harger second. James Vance still listed as third. So still didn't lose a ton of time, but Vance may have been able to get back out as the leader if he didn't use all that excess runoff, that access road, so to speak, basically the IndyCar pit entry. Dean Burnett, Chris Goins, the top 5. And what's happened with William George? Strong leader early on in the race, pole sitter, currently running in the 20th position. Did make his pit stop just recently, lap 51. 4 tire stop for Will George, so that's going to put him to the back. He has made 2 stops. I don't believe he took tires on the first stop. Brian Rose runs in the 19th position. So what do you think, Eric? You think Brian is just saving his stuff here to the end? I mean, we don't have any fast repairs. Didn't want to get that thing wadded up, but he hasn't made a whole lot of noise. In fact, he's down 3 spots since the start of the race.
Brian's very consistent, so I know he's got a plan, but I also know from, starting iRacing with Brian and stuff, this is one of his least favorite tracks. So, I'm sure he's developing a plan as he goes along, and there's no doubt about it. I mean, the 89's always close to the front at the end.
Least favorite track is probably the nicest way you could put it in terms of what Brian Rose thinks of Homestead-Miami Speedway.
That's why I was surprised you picked him at first. I was thinking yes, but I mean he's our points leader right now, and you know, he's been the most consistent driver all season.
Brian Torsha running in the 16th position. A little bit of contact just up ahead with Cook Quick, it appears. Tom Ridgway also in the frame. Jamie Kerr progressing forward as well. He's up to the 13th position. He pit at lap 51. He did take 4 tires on his stop. So we do see this battle with Brian Torsha shaping up with Tom Ridgway. They're going to go 3 wide. Torsha just barely gets by on the inside. Almost contact with the 3, but he makes it happen. He's going to go by Neil Quick on the bottom as well. We've got 26 laps to go. Brian Torsha going from 16th to 13th in the matter of a half a lap. Torsha also took 4 tires on his stop, but that was back lap 47. So tire temperatures and air pressure certainly on its way up in that number 22 machine. Back out front, Mike LaJoie all by himself, lonely 3 seconds ahead of Cody Harger in the 2nd spot. Keaton Burnett is up to 3rd. He's got some distance away from the 66 as well. Mike Fahey, Zach Millett, current top 5.
Zach's making his charge.
Now, we talked to Zach before the race. He said he had planned to try and save an extra set of tires for that final run. We'll see if he did just that or if he's just banking on some stage points. We still have 24 trucks on the lead lap. Mike LaJoie off turn number 4. Last lap of the stage.
Caution's out.
And caution is out. It was supposed to be at the completion of lap 60, but looks like it is once the top 5 gets by lap 60. So Mike LaJoie, your stage winner. Across the line, it'll be 22 laps to go. Field will get lined back up behind the pace car, and pit stops will be underway. We're going to, again, step aside real quick, have a word from the sponsor. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Homestead-Miami Speedway. Pit stops complete here at the end of the stage. Mike LaJoie, the stage winner. Cody Harger, though, he's going to win the race off of pit road. Both drivers did take tires. Cody Harger, 14.92 seconds. Mike LaJoie, 15.08. That was the difference in the pit box. Also, another 0.9 of a second faster in and out of pit lane for Cody Harger. That was the difference to get him out in front of this field. Mike LaJoie second, Vince Short up to 3rd, Keaton Burnett, Zach Millett the top 5. Vincent Short, though, did not take tires on the end of this cycle. Vince Short either burned up those tires early or he's gambling that we're going to get a caution here before the end of this race.
We ain't. Well, I think we've had one caution for a wreck.
Yeah, one caution for cause and then the other for the stage. Race is certainly moving by in a hurry.
I could see gambling here, though, because everybody's going to be bunched up, and, you know, there'll probably be, 17, 18 laps to go when we go back green, and people's going to be more aggressive. But like you said, it's a gamble.
Certainly is. Let's try and go through the field a little bit here. Cody Harder will restart as your leader. Mike LaJoy in the second spot, was leading some laps prior to the caution. Vince Short gambling on some tire strategy. He's up to third. Keaton Burnett, he runs in the fourth position, and Zach Millett started dead last. He's up to the fifth position. Chris Goins in the sixth. He runs sixth. Rob Hattenbach, seventh in the number 99. Jamie Kerr, he runs eighth, finally up into the top 10. James Vance, a strong afternoon so far for the 11. He's ninth. 10th position is Brian Torsha out of Hudson, New York in the number 22. Pole sitter William George has slipped back to 11th, but again, took some tires on this stop. We'll see what kind of pace he has. Andrew Locke runs 12th. Again, another road racing driver here having a decent afternoon. Tom Ridgway in the 3 truck. He runs 13th. Michael Fahey is in the 14th position. Mike out of Ilion, New York. Tommy Withers runs in the 15th position or 16th. I think it's Mark Truxell officially in the 15th spot. Mark is in that number 5 Little Tate's Cupcakes machine. Brian Rose currently runs 17th. Or is it Bill Voracek? 16th, 17th, in that range. Brian Rupert shown as the 19th place truck. Again, Brian out of the OG Racing Stables. TJ Elaine runs in the number 69 machine. Been fast here as long as you get that truck out front. He's currently 20th on the track. And then we have Cook Quick, also the 19th position. Guys are cycling through as we getting ready to go back to green here. And Zach Millett is going to get his EOL here for the stage. That was a win penalty. It's how we work things here, and we'll explain that a little further here. But that's pretty much your field rundown here as we get ready to go back to green. Drew Blaze 25th, Carson Conway 26th. So that penalty system we talk about, the winners of each race, they get a penalty. Yes, we penalize our winners here in SCAR, and it's because there's varying levels of ability level, and we don't want the same guy to win every week, so we kind of shake things up, make that guy start in the back as we go back to green. Mike LaJoy doesn't get a great start. Cody Harder does. He's in the throttle right away. Vincent Short to the bottom for the second position. But again, the reason we do that is because it does shake things up. It makes it a little bit exciting. You put the fast guy at the back of the pack. He has to find a way through the field, make his way back towards the front. And the more you win, the worse it gets. It's going to be just me from here on in, ladies and gentlemen. Eric Dodson had to get out of the booth as we got a big caution off of turn number 4.
Fuel whenever you can, but you're doing a really good job. Somebody about to green someone.
Big trouble on the front stretch. Multiple trucks involved. Tom Ridgway, Andrew Locke, Brian Rupert. Keaton Burnett involved as well. Let's try and get a look at this. But again, Eric Dodson did need to leave the booth. Family emergency. He is likely not to return this evening, and actually I think he's out of town next week as well. But wishing the best there for Eric. Hope everything gets worked out okay. Let's take a look at this yellow flag, though. Andrew Locke, possibly the first truck involved. Andrew, the 25 there on the bottom. Fresh tires again, changes the handling characteristics. Andrew, a little loose. Yeah, gets up in that middle lane, loses the rear end of the truck again, tries to correct, overcorrection, gets clipped by the 3 Ridgeway, and Andrew just gets stuck in the wall. We do see that a lot, some of these racetracks where you'll just get hooked. About 12 trucks go underneath him while he flies through the air. That is interesting to say the least. Burnett loose off of 4 as well. Kyle Wayne Short in the stream chat says, great gamble, Vince. Could work out for him here. Some drivers are taking the opportunity now to hit the pit lane. I know Chris Goins, he's in the box against some damage on that 6 truck. Vincent Short, as of the moment, is listed as the leader. Curious to see if Vince is going to stay out. I don't know if that caution came out exactly when he wanted it to, or maybe he doesn't have tires left to use. Don't believe the pit road had been closed the last time by. You see many drivers down there right now. Drew Blaze, TJ Elaine. The drivers involved: Andrew Locke, Keaton Burnett, Tommy Withers, Tom Ridgway, Brian Rupert. At a minimum. With 15 laps to go, the top 5: Vince Short, Cody Harger, Rob Hattenbach, Mike LaJoy, and Jamie Kerr. Again, Jamie slowly but surely working his way up into that top 5. He's creeping for sure, but we'll see what happens with Vince Short here at the front of the field. His last pit stop at lap 62 at the stage took fuel only. You actually hear Vince shutting the truck off under caution, trying to save some fuel to make it to the end, because I think it was going to be close. But I think the bigger concern for the 15 is the tire situation. Again, we don't know for certain if he took that set the first opportunity on the race, because again, 2 sets over the wall. 3 if you count the set they started the race on. Vince has made 3 stops, again, likely for fuel. I think tires at one point, that may have been prior to the stage end. So Vince stays out though. Again, I don't know if he's got a set over the wall still. If he does, I kind of think I would have tried and taken that opportunity this time. I know it was awfully quick that we went back to the yellow flag. I think it was the first lap after the restart. Some trucks hitting pit lane once more time. Caution light goes out. We are on the 1 to go. So we're going to get the restart here with 12 laps to go. We make it all the way to the finish. Of course, that will be the run to the checkered flag. We do have an opportunity if we need it. We do have green, white, checkered finishes in this series. We'll run up to 3, I believe, if necessary. Hopefully we won't need it. We'll say if Vince has a set of tires still over the wall, though, you might want that caution in about 10 laps. I don't really think the fall off is going to be that significant, but that's the bed that he's made. Either way, at the front of this field with 13 to go. Still had some pretty good pace out of the box. Pace car pulls off a turn 4. Vince goes. Good jump for the 15. Vince Short with pretty good pace after the restart. Again, did not take tires on that stop. He's gotten away from the 66 of Cody Harger, but Mike LaJoy is now taking over that second spot. See if the 29 can pick up the pace and catch the 15. We did see this the last restart that we had with tire changes that Mike LaJoie was a little bit faster on fresh tires than the 66, but then after a couple of laps, Cody was able to reel him back in and pass. We'll see if that happens again this time as we're working less than 11 laps to go. Vincent Short into turn 3. Right on board with Vincent Short. Looking back at Mike LaJoie, continues to lead here with 10 laps to go. Deficit growing between these two trucks, 0.6 of a second back to the 29, but LaJoie has created some space between himself and Cody Harger, but Mike real loose off turn 4 there, saves the truck. It's going to lose some more ground, cost him 1.5 tenths down the front stretch. And looky, here comes William George up into the fourth, now third spot. Gets a nose in front of the 66 of Cody Harger. Will George, the pole sitter here this afternoon, spent most of the evening near the rear of the field after leading some laps, then quickly losing that lead, but he's battled back, maybe with some tire strategy, fighting for the third spot with Cody Harger. Looks like the 96 might have him clear off turn 2. William George up to P3 here with 7.5 laps to go. Vincent Short still with the lead. Mike LaJoie runs second. Riding on board with Cody Harger. He's going to try and battle back. Wants that top 3. Real loose off of 4. Saves the truck. Has to check up, but he's going to lose more ground. Zach Millett now has fought his way back into the top 5 as well. Zach took 4 tires and fuel on his final stop. 6.5 laps to go. Millett working on the 66 of Harger now. He's to the inside of Jamie Kerr. Kerr's going to slip to 6th. Barely enough room to clear, but he does. Millett slides up the top of the track. Kerr's going to maybe battle back on the bottom. Zach Millett to 5th officially. Doesn't get around Cody Harger just yet, but he's making a look to the inside in 3. Drives it down to the bottom. He's going to have to check up. The 66 pinches him on the white line. Real loose is Zach Millett. Does he hold it? Does he hold it? He does. 5 laps to go. The battle for the 4th spot. Cody Harger is not easy to get by no matter how quick you are. That's going to cost Zach Millett a little bit of track position here as Jamie Kerr now looks back to the bottom for that position. Kerr wants the top 5. Zach Millett doesn't want to give it up. Real loose again off turn 4. Zach Millett trying to get the power down. He can't. Kerr gets a good run. He's going to look to the inside into turn 1. 4 laps to go. Vincent Short still in command of this field, but the battle going on now is for 4th position. Cody Harger, Zach Millett, Jamie Kerr. Jamie's trying to attack and defend all at the same time. Drives it in way deep. Cody Harger battles back, carries the momentum on the high side. Millett puts the power down, keeps the rear end underneath him, drives it down the front stretch. A drag race between himself and the 66 of Harger. 3 laps to go. Vincent Short still your leader. Cody Harger drives it up to the high side, trying to gain some momentum. Can Zach Millett clear him off of 2? It looks like he can. Expect a bump from the 66. These two are close. 3-4 feet between the two, but Millett gets away. Great battle for position. The 4th position on track. Jamie Kerr now looking at the back bumper of Cody Harger. He wants that 4th spot. 5th spot. Jamie Kerr better be careful. He's got Brian Torsha taking a peek to the inside. Zach Millett slides up the racetrack off of turn number 2. Real high, wide, and handsome. He's going to give Cody Harger the look back to the bottom. Cody tucks back in behind, but Millett going for the second spot, trying to get to the bottom of Mike LaJoy. Sorry, this is the third spot. William George up to P2. 2 laps to go from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Actually, last lap, Vincent Short carrying an 0.8 of a second lead over second place William George, the pole sitter. Vincent Short just 2 more corners as he exits turn number 2, and he's going to have a win here in the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. William George just sitting there stalking the 15, waiting for an opportunity. Short started 15th this afternoon, worked his way through the field, took fuel only on the final stop, and off of turn 4, he's going to see a checkered flag in Miami. South Beach has been good to the 15, and Track Bar Media goes to victory lane here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Second place, William George. Zach Millett still a top 3. Mike LaJoy 4th, and Cody Harger rounds out the top 5. What a drive for the 15 of Vincent Short. Puts it in victory lane. What a race. Uh-oh. Not enough front brake in it. There we go. Vincent Short victorious here in the Premier Series. Celebrates on the front stretch. We're going to step aside here for just a moment. We're going to get our top 3 in the booth for interviews after this. Stay with us, folks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Homestead-Miami Speedway, Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. The Florida Feud 125 in the books, and Vincent Short with the victory. Let's get a word here with our winner, the driver of the number 15 Track Bar Media Chevrolet. Vincent Short, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. Do you got a copy?
I got a copy.
Vince, congratulations, man. You bring home the victory here tonight in the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. What's it feel like?
I'm ecstatic right now because if you were to ask me every single track on the schedule, this would have been the last one I would have picked.
So we saw at that final caution, you did not take tires, at least the stage caution. It was a 9.58 second stop. How did you hold these guys off? Because it seems like everybody else took 4.
I took 2 on that last one because I took 4 on the stage break. So I had known during practice what the wear rate was on the tires. So I took a chance hoping, and when I went in to change on the last one, I was showing, I think, 96% on the left side. So I was like, if I can get out far enough, if I start having fall off, I should be able to hold them off.
Well, it was certainly impressive to watch you drive away. I think you were 3rd on the restart after the stage, and then we had that quick caution. We thought we might see you hit the pit road at that stage, but of course, with right sides only, we didn't realize you only took the right. So a good move either way, but got you the track position, and it looks like it got you the win here from Miami, Florida.
Yes, it did. Well, this one time I told the guys that practice actually finally paid off.
Well, certainly fun to watch, Vince. What was your thought process coming in? I mean, you qualified 15th, not the greatest. It's about mid-pack. I think we had 30 trucks here tonight. A good field to work your way through. You kept the nose clean on the truck, but what was the strategy?
I had been qualifying pretty darn good, and then I kind of tanked it in actual qualifying. So at that point, it was one of those things where I bided my time and just laid back, and I had to dodge a couple bullets, but other than that, just staying clear of everybody and just letting them weed themselves out, which eventually you start seeing them push up to the wall, and I was just kind of keeping steady pace and not pushing it.
Well, either way, man, congratulations. It was a great victory for sure. Got it out of the way early here. Now you can kind of make your plans for the rest of the season as far as the playoffs and the championship are concerned. Does this change things up going into next week?
It takes a lot of pressure off. With this big a field every single race, I mean, your chances are slim to none. And, like Brian said, the first race of the season, man, to get it out of the way takes a lot of pressure off where you can just focus on steady finishes.
All right, Vince. Well, again, nice job. Before we let you go, anybody you need to thank?
Of course, you know how this works. I'd like to thank my wife, Nikki, who supports the SCAR League since day one, HBR, Hollow Borders Racing, HBR TV, Track Bar Media, Two Blessings Store, pretty much everybody on the team, Brian Rose, Carson Conway, David Brad. David, of course, who could make it tonight, who's been a godsend for me in improving my racing, and just everybody as a whole. Really appreciate it, especially my family, Kyle, my nephew Landon, my sister Jessie, and Janet, who watch every single week. Jacob, my stepson. Just want to thank y'all and appreciate the support. Glad I could pull a win off for you.
Awesome job, Vince. Congratulations. Good luck at Wilkesboro next week.
Thanks, guys.
It was Vincent Short, your winner here from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Next, we're going to go to Willie George. Talk to our pole sitter and second place finisher, Will George. It's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a good copy?
Got a good copy.
Will, congratulations, man. Pole position, where did that come from for starters? And nice job on the second place. Tell us about your night.
Well, I was surprised by the pole by myself. So, I got our team's first pole in SCAR. So, pretty happy about that. Yeah, we struggled after that first caution, and once that stage came out, we just started moving through the field. Truck felt pretty good, and happy I got second.
Well, it was fun to watch there for a little bit. You battling with teammate TJ Elaine. That was a great battle for the top spot, kind of back and forth for a bit. Don't know what happened with TJ. He ended up finishing 20th on the night. Don't know if he got caught up in an incident or what have you, but both of you guys had some great pace early on. You get the second position out of the deal. So, I mean, what was the plan coming into tonight?
It was just basically follow him. And once he got in front of me, I was just going to follow him, but he ended up following me. But he got involved in that little incident, got loose, and he ended up hitting him. So, ended up getting a lot of damage from that. But it was just basically just ride around, save the tires, and hope for a good finish.
Well, he certainly got a great finish, and it wasn't just hope. It was some skill behind the wheel. That number 96 TJ George Esports F-150. Will, before we let you get out of here, though, is there anybody else that you need to thank?
Yeah, I definitely want to thank TJ and TJ George Esports Company. He puts out some great paint schemes, and go check him out on Facebook at the TJ George Esports Company. Like I said, go get yourself a free paint scheme. I want to thank Pete I need him to stay strong. I know he's getting over some health issues, and I want to wish him well. And I want to thank Land Motorsports Black Sheep Motorsport, Conaway, TVM, Boza, Lamar, and especially y'all. Y'all do an amazing job at broadcasting. Y'all are probably the best I've ever heard, honestly.
Well, Will, I really appreciate the kind words, man. We've got our fair share of hiccups here and there. We try our best, but I do appreciate that. And what are your thoughts going into next week at North Wilkesboro? That's a totally different type of track here.
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to make that one. I've got my little 2-week military thing coming up, so unfortunately, I have to miss that one. But you can root for my teammate TJ and see if you can get a win.
All right, well, very good. Thank you for your service, sir. And again, congratulations on the second spot. Thanks for chatting with us.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
It was Will George, second place finisher. Next, we're going to go to Zach Millett, bring him up into the broadcast booth. Zach, it's Steve in the booth. You got a copy?
Steve, how's it going, man?
Zach, P3, are you kidding me? You started dead last on the field here. You couldn't qualify. You got an EOL at the beginning of the stage to start the last 20 so laps, maybe 18 laps of the race. How did you get back through this field and finish third?
I was just telling the guys in the green room, I had no expectation to be here at all. That last run, I was sitting here thinking, if I get a top 10, I'd be more than happy. But yeah, those tires held, and I just sent it the best I could.
You got to put that on the truck somewhere. Full send.
Full send 100%.
Well, Zach, I won't keep it too long. I know you got to get off to work, but before we let you get out of the booth here, is there anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you, Steve, and Holler Boys Racing TV for the coverage. Shoot me a follow. Let me scramble and get my list here.
He's got to get his cue cards.
I can't remember this, I see it all the time and I just never remember. I'm just going to wing it, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. Sure, there's something else, whatever it is, but that S4 guy.
All right, Brian. Well, again, good luck next week, North Wilkesboro, man.
Thanks, man.
Short and sweet. Zach Millett's got to get to work, so we let him get out of here relatively soon. Looks like we've got Brian Rose in the green room. Looks like he wants to chat, so we'll bring Brian up here. Brian, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, Steve. What's up?
Well, I saw you in the green room. I figured you wanted to say hey, so welcome to the broadcast room.
I had just come over to congratulate Vince on that awesome run. Good pit strategy right there. Absolutely hate this place. They could fix it real easy with a bulldozer. Don't care if we ever come back here. Didn't even see the top 10 all night long. Couldn't even smell it. Tried to play some pit strategy to get some stage points. Ended up not paying off, but we were right there at the end, which is where you want to be. I had a shot, a legitimate shot there at the end, get up there in the top 5 and maybe battle. But all in all, it's a good night. Good finish. I believe we'll stretch the points lead out, and this Track Bar Media machine will stay up top in the points.
Decent night for Holler Boys Racing for sure. Again, we saw you run mid-pack or worse a lot of the evening. How did you get it up into the top 10 for an 8th place finish?
I just, hitting my mark, staying consistent. A lot of those guys, there was a wreck right there, took out a couple good trucks, really helped us out in the position-wise. But no, I knew, because I never changed tires all race long, and I knew with the rubber that had been laid down on the track, after we got that stage break, I put some new tires on. I knew I was going to be quicker than what I'd been showing. My strategy didn't pay off at the beginning of the race, really dug us into a hole, but we was right there at the end, and that's all you can ask for.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, congratulations, man. I know next week we've got North Wilkesboro. Are you going to make it for that one?
Oh, yeah. We'll be there, North Wilkesboro. It's going to be tough. I don't envy Vince. I'm glad he got the win tonight, but that's a tough place to have to come from the back. So need to get a better qualifying position for sure than what we had tonight. Thank everybody for coming out. 30 trucks in the field, 30 clean, great race car drivers that was out here tonight that's showing up every week. You can't ask for nothing better than this. Best league in iRacing as far as I'm concerned.
Certainly was a great race to call. It was definitely no shortage of action. I don't think I can let Eric talk hardly at all. And unfortunately, Eric had to jump out of here for a little bit of a family emergency. So hopefully everything's going good with Eric. But man, there was no time where I was like, well, this is getting boring. This was just a great race across the board. And it's come to be what we expect from the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Certainly delivered. Brian, again, congratulations. Is there anybody you need to thank? You're here as well.
Absolutely. Holler Boys Racing TV, Holler Boys Racing, the team. it just shows you right there we got a great team. There's only been one other winner that hasn't been an HBR guy this season, and that was Neil, and Neil's fast. We get out there and we practice, we share information. We got some great drivers in HBR stable, Track Bar Media, Superior Class Auto Racing, everybody who does this. Cody for sure for admin and keeping us all together and keeping us in line. It's not an easy task, and he does a great job at it. So we'll get packed up and we'll go on to North Wilkesboro and we'll try to get some good points.
All right, Brian. Well, again, good luck next week. Thanks for coming up and chatting with us.
Thanks, Steve.
Brian Rose, 8th place finisher, again, team principal over at HBR. Congratulating his driver, Vincent Short, for taking home the top spot. Again, a good run for Brian Rose himself. We've talked about it so many times. Get what the truck will give you. And it looks like tonight, Brian might have gotten a little more out of it than he really thought the truck was going to give him. A top 10 finish, finishes 8th. But rest of our finishing results, of course, Vince Short takes the win. William George, P2 from the pole position. A good night for the 96. Zach Millett, where did he come from? Finishes 3rd. Mike LaJoy was 4th. Cody Harger, a top 5. Brian Torsha, another solid run out of the 22. Always there at the end of these things. Finishes in the 6th position. Jamie Kerr, he's 7th. Brian Rose, we talked to, finished 8th. James Vance, a solid finish for the 11th. Top 10 for the road course racer. He finishes 9th. Mark Truxell was in the 10th position. 11th was Keaton Burnett. 12th, Mike Fahey. Jesse Bobo finished 13th. Rob Hattenbach, 14th. Thomas Andrews, 15th. Neil Quick, we talked about. Expected a little more out of the 2 machine tonight, but he finishes in the 16th position. Carson Conway, after a lap 1 incident with the wall, he finishes 17th. Chris Goins was 18th. 19th, Bill Voracek. 20th was TJ Elaine after an issue. Again, he was certainly fast. Going to be a contender here the rest of the season for certain. Cook Quick was 21st. Drew Blaze, 22nd. 23rd, Tommy Withers. 24th, Eddie Rose. Alan DeFries was 25th. Tom Ridgway, 26th. Brian Rupert, he finished 27th. Andrew Locke, a disappointing night for the 25. He finished 28th after getting collected in a big wreck in the front straightaway late. Thomas McMullen and Will Hewitt finished 29th and 30th. Talk about North Wilkesboro for next week here. Tune in for that here at HBR TV next week. Again, 8:45 in the East. That is every Tuesday. Might be some breaks in the middle, but we'll keep everybody posted on that. But man, if we get 30 truck field next week at Wilkesboro, that is going to be fun to watch. That's going to be a true test to watch these drivers, see what kind of laps they can throw down individually and how they can turn out in a crowd. You know, you guys have all seen Days of Thunder. You run good, but now go get your own car and we'll see how you do in a crowd. Well, the crowd is going to be tight in North Wilkesboro next week, especially if we show up with 30 trucks on that tiny bumpy speedway. It's going to be a fun one to watch. It could be a crash fest. We don't know, but I got pretty high hopes for these drivers here. They run clean, they're talented, and they're going to put on a good show, whether it's here or there. Thank you, everyone, for watching, though. Certainly appreciate all the participation in the stream chat. Lots of new faces, some old, some new. We really encourage you guys to please chime in every chance you get. We don't always get our eyeballs on it, especially when the races are exciting. But please, if you got something to say, we'd love to hear from you. Who are you cheering for? Where are you watching from? It's all good stuff to talk about. Questions, you know, Thomas McMullen said, hey guys, you don't have any race audio. Well, that's our fault. Somehow we managed to tick the mute button on the race side. Usually it's just the broadcast mic that I turn off when I'm trying to cough or clear my throat, and I forget to kick it back on, but for some reason we muted the race. So thanks for chiming in, guys. Always appreciate that. Thanks for tuning into the race. Again, a big thank you for everyone here. Again, those new faces, if you haven't already done it, like, follow, share, subscribe. Both social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube. It's HBR TV1 on Facebook and YouTube. Make it a little bit easier to find them instead of the long, drawn-out name. I liked it better, but Howler Boys Racing TV with racing with no G and boys with a Z, whatever it was, I don't remember, but it's just harder to remember. So HBR TV1, Facebook and YouTube, find us there. Like, follow, share, subscribe, turn on the notifications so every time we make a post or go live, you're notified. And in case you forget, you don't miss the race, because you certainly don't want to miss any of the action here in the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. It's going to wrap it up for us here at HBR TV. For Eric Dotson, I'm Steve Singer. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.